Yeah, it was a tough decision. It was a hard decision. It was a decision filled with tears.
Mm,
I will never forget where I was. I was in South Carolina doing some corporate speaking for a friend, and it's kind of when I got the call from one of the executives out in Australia who's from Australia, but also planted the London location. And it was on the heels of me sending a resignation the day before that. And the day after that, the documentary was coming out. And for me, the resignation essentially said something to this extent. I love the church. I love the ministry. At this point, the headlines and and the scandalous nature of it has impacted the trust of our membership here in the city of Atlanta. We were such a young church. It was very difficult to weather the storm. And so we weathered it as long as we could until our donors began to pull out. And I was talking to even our congregation here at CCC and our leadership recently last week. And we were talking about this idea of tithing. And, everybody has a different idea of tithing, a history of tithing, even some challenges with tithing. But I said, let's just bring it down to, kind of ground zero. God has set up the church with a financial model that it would be sustainable. And it is the generosity of believers. And I made this statement. If we don't give, the church doesn't live. That's just the bottom line. And so the moment you lose your donors and the moment people feel as if they can't trust the ministry for whatever reason, their money goes first. And once the money goes, the church essentially is close to close after that. And so we had to make a decision of, man, if we want to kind of save the work that has been done here in Atlanta, I think we've got to make a transition. And so I was crying when he called me because I did not want to leave. I was just like, man, I really wish we could keep doing this because from my angle, it was a great church and I loved Hillsong, but we just could not continue to do ministry under under the immense pressure. And so going through that, it was like a 2-year journey, and then replanning a story church, and then my marriage falling apart in the middle of all of that.